Today we're looking at the toughest MTG creatures with no toughness. So basically what this is creatures that have like 1 or 2 toughness, maybe even 0, and they are very hard to kill. Like, very hard to kill. Like this Dark Steel Mirror. It is a 3 generic 0/1 creature that is brutally indestructible. So, I mean, you're staring at the... I mean, I don't know what you're going to do with it, to be honest. Maybe you can let it get pumped up by the other mirrors, but as it stands, like, nothing is going to kill this damn thing. Moving on, we've got... let's see what the coffee crew is going to say for today's show. It's quite interesting. Well, maybe later when we run out of ideas, we'll go to Ragavan. Creepy Doll. Remember, it doesn't have to be just indestructible. But, I mean, hey, that's one tough way of making a 1 toughness creature. Creepy Doll, for 5 generic mana, it is also indestructible. Whenever Creepy Doll deals combat damage to a creature, flip a coin. If you win the flip, destroy that creature. But Creepy Doll is indestructible herself. A child's porcelain doll went missing one night, as did a pair of kitchen shears and the town magistrate. Maybe the girl herself. All right, Baccarat. Thanks so much for the super chat. This is the opposite, actually, of today's show. Phantasmal Image. This thing, like, just dies to a brisk breeze. Whenever it's targeted, you have to sacrifice it. This is the least toughest of no toughness creatures. This is probably a good opening for a different show, actually. All right, moving on. We've got that's a good one. Slippery Boggle. Good luck touching this guy. What are they? Well, thank you very much for the super chat, Abe. This is exactly what I'm talking about. All right, we got a 1/1 hexproof creature. You can't touch this. You can't target it with anything. There's other ways of killing the Slippery Boggle, but outside of that is a 1 toughness creature that has immunity from Lightning Bolt and Fatal Push and Tragic Slip and so on. Let's see. Elemental tokens by Master of Waves, literally 0. Yeah, but they could die very easily. Very, very, very easily. Oh, we don't have them. Why do I not have the music on here? Hold on. I'm forgetting more and more often these days. The Alzheimer's are starting to kick in. All right, we got the music. Now we got our music. Now we can enjoy Coffee and MTG. Okay, we got Michael Gonzalez. Cauldron Familiar. I'll count that one. That one's part of a combo where the cat comes back. This is a Fred Penner special. Alright, so we got we have Cauldron Familiar for 1 black. It's a 1/1 creature. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. However, if you sacrifice a food, return Cauldron Familiar back from your graveyard to the battlefield. That's one tough cat. Even when you kill it, it comes back. Unbelievable. This thing breaks the 9 live rule. Thought we were going for no, not strongest. That's a whole different show. We're toughest. Urgh. Take damage, good. No problem. Alright, what else do we have here? Okay, some people are huge into the skeleton tribal. Reassembling skeletons. Yeah, that's 1 toughness. Is this like the iconic skeleton out there? Every single time someone mentions a skeleton, you know, we keep bringing up reassembling skeletons. Alright, 2 mana, 1/1. Black 1 generic. Return reassembling skeletons from your graveyard to the battlefield tab. Oh! I thought this was a different one. I thought you can regenerate the skeletons. Maybe skeletons don't have regenerate. Maybe I'm mixing up the rules. And they just come back from the battlefield tapped. There's no meat on those bones! So strange they keep coming back. Alright, but it counts. I like it. Oh, we got Jacob Thune. Banquet Guests. Actual has no toughness, unlike Dark Steel Mirror. Alright, what is this? Banquet Guests. Okay, that is true. True story. Alright, we got a white-green axe, affinity for food, trample, enters the battlefield with twice of X, +1/+1 counters on it, and sack of food, gains indestructible until end of turn. Love it! Indestructible. Well, you're gonna have to put it into play with at least 1 counter, though. At least 1. Oh, we got the Pyro Bob. With Brash Taunter. Taunt away, Brash Taunter. This is like the Homer Simpson of I guess Magic the Gathering cards. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm not looking at this the right way. You can take a bunch of punches. Is willing to get in that ring and, you know, get wailed on, and it really doesn't matter. It doesn't take any damage. Whenever Brash Taunter is dealt damage, deals that much damage to target opponent. Because it wears themselves down. And red, 2 generic, tap, Brash Taunter fights another target creature. You hit like a kobold. They're doing good. Ooh, I like this one, Bulky. True name Nemesis. What's better than indestructible? Well, having protection from a chosen player. This card is awkward in Commander, to be honest. It's broken in one-on-one, but very awkward in Commander. Enters the battlefield, choose a player. You have protection from that player. Only 1 toughness, but you only need 1 toughness. That's great flavor text. Kobolds usually have 0 power. That's right. 0 power weenies. Mother of Runes. The tough, you know, the mothers are tough. That's why we have Mother's Day. We have a white 1/1 human cleric. Tap, target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn, including herself. You know, you face turn 1 mom, and you're like, okay, this game's over. My removal sucks. I can't attack. I cannot do anything. Or, like, if you do kill a Mother of Runes, you're going to spend a ton of resources to do it. And it's just so awkward to get through one. Turn 1 Mother of Runes is like turn 1 getting babysat by the Death and Taxes player. Slavin, Squee the Immortal. There's a lot of tough 1 toughness creatures out there. Alright, we got a red 1 generic, 2/1. You may cast Squee the Immortal from your graveyard or exile. So no matter how do you get rid of this thing? I guess you have to, like, you gotta, like, I don't know, put it back into your opponent's deck and make them shuffle it in, and then it's ultimately gone. Other than that, Squee the Immortal. More or less immortal. Tarmogoyf, it counts. Does it? Where's my buzzer sound? First off, it does have a toughness. It does get bigger as more stuff goes in the graveyard, but it's quite vulnerable. And then when it's dead, it's dead. It got Tarmogoyf has no defense, really, except for building up your graveyard. That's effectively the Tarmogoyf's defense, at best. You know, hope your opponent plays a spell to kill, like, I don't know, a lightning bolt to kill the Tarmogoyf. In response, you play, like, I don't know, an evoke elemental to put a creature in your graveyard or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I'm working hard. Islarf, Bone Knitter. What do we have with the Bone Knitter? We have a black 1 generic 1/1 zombie with regenerate, and it's got morph. That is so weird. That count. All right. Okay, wood elemental, because you got to be tough to play it. Oh God. You have to be extra tough to play wood elemental. Anyway, this absolutely doesn't count. Yeah, blow up your board with this one simple trick, and then when it dies, you face reality. Barkat. Thanks so much for the super chat. Let's try this again. Selfless Spirit. Am I gonna count this? It's not tough itself, but it makes everything else tough. All right, so it's a white 1 generic 2/1 flyer. You can sack it to make sure that all your other creatures gain indestructible until end of turn. Whatever. You know what, you super chatted. It's a little loose. The creature itself is, like, you know, pretty vulnerable, but everything else gets tougher. We got Vitor, Skullbriar, the Walking Grave. Skullbriar. It became unbelievably good in Ikoria with all these counters walking around. Alright, we got a green-black 1/1 zombie elemental with haste. When Skullbriar, the Walking Grave, deals combat damage to a player, put a counter on it so it gets bigger. Counters remain on Skullbriar as it moves to any zone other than a player's hand or library. So weird. That's interesting. And it just gets bigger as time goes on. So if it goes to, like, what, the graveyard, it keeps the counters. And then if you bring it back, it still has the counters. That's funny. I'll count that. It's like a toughness that doesn't go away. Very bizarre. Sarah Ascendant! It's the 1/1 with lifelink. As long as you have 30 or more life, it has +5/+5. It has flying. Alright, and in Commander, it's tougher than it looks. In Commander, it's tougher than it looks. So it's basically a 1 mana 6/6. That card's broken. Is that card broken in Commander? You start the game off with a 1 mana, like, 6/6 creature with flying. That's insane. Like, that is the like, it sounds like every white deck should have one of these in their deck in Commander. And it's just a free roll. Because what are the odds you're gonna have less than 30 life? It's such a good clock, too. Okay, Shmuel, Darksteel Myth. We started the show with that one. It's a great one. Beloved Chaplain from Lokafai-san. The Chaplain. Okay, we got a 2 mana 1/1 protection from creatures. Amazing. All creatures, Nomad and Nanjuku Eagle and Elephant, all the birds and beasts are charmed by his quiet dignity. What does that have to do with creatures? I guess they're all creatures. You know what? They're all creatures. Yeah, so I guess he charms them. It's a charmer. The charisma gives them protection. Stop! I'll say something profound and interesting. Don't attack me. You wouldn't want to attack such a noble cleric, would you? Oh, Corbinek. Wall of Shadows was neat for its time. Wall of Shadow. Black 1 generic for a 0/1 wall. Damage dealt to Wall of Shadows by creatures it blocks is reduced to 0. And Wall of Shadows cannot be the target of spells or effects that can target only walls. What the hell does that mean? Okay, Oracle Tax time. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Wall of Shadows by creatures it's blocking. And Wall of Shadows can't be the target of spells or abilities that target only walls, or of abilities that can target only walls. So in protection from wall hate. Try to bring the wall hate to the Wall of Shadows? Well, forget it. The Wall of Shadows don't care. This is great! Now that's a 1 toughness creature that's super tough. Skrelv, Defector Might. Defector from the hierarchy of the Phyrexians. Alright, we have a white 1/1. Is this a good guy? It's a defector. Sounds like they left the army. Toxic 1. Players dealt combat damage by this creature also get a poison counter. Skrelv can't block. Phyrexian tap. Choose a color. Another target creature you control gains. It's only another one. Gains Toxic 1 and Hexproof from another color until end of turn. It can't be blocked by creatures of that color this turn. Does not protect itself, though. No protection. It doesn't have that Mother of Runes like protection. It's so funny. He might be. I like that. Good job, Tommy. Good job. Alright, Mr. Very Smart. Glittering Lynx. Glittering. We got white 1/1 cat. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Glittering Lynx. Is that just what's called indestructible now? Maybe not. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to Glittering Lynx. Alright! Pay 2 until end of turn. Glittering Lynx loses. So it loses it. What's the flavor to that? Like, I don't know, if you put your sunglasses on, all of a sudden the glittering doesn't blind you or something. All right, that one counts though. That is definitely a counter. Professor Wizard, Sanitarium Skeleton. Gotta be clean around here. So what is this, the janitor of the multiverse? It's like, there's a lot of crap I gotta clean up around here. You don't want to know what Garrick does in those toilets. Alright, we got a black 1/2 skeleton. Pay a black 2 generic. Return Sanitarium Skeleton from your graveyard to your hand. Just made me wonder, is there like... There's a plumbing system in Ravnica, right? In any of those towns? Or was it all outhouses? They don't talk about it that much. I mean, where in the story does Jay say, I need to take a leak? Can anyone find me a wall, damn it? I need a wall. Nobody looking. Michael, thanks so much for the super chat. Nightscape Familiar. That's a great card. Why does anyone play this thing? It's effectively like a medallion, but for 2 colors. Oh, I mean, I guess you got to be in black, though. So we have a black 1 generic, 1/1. Blue spells and red spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And you can regenerate the thing. I just want, or I don't know, maybe it sees more play than I think it does. It has been in Commander sets. You do have to be in the Grixis colors to get the full benefit, though. So. Red Co. Ashaya, Soul the Wind. What do we got here? We got a green 3 generic Star. The power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Non-token creatures you control are forest lands in addition to their other types. Alright, I'll allow it. It started with nothing, but usually when... Well, it's on paper, it's nothing, but when it enters the battlefield, it's something. Ellen Chan Gaming, Gigantomancer. Are you serious? Giganto. It sounds like something that's big. This is... It's got a gigantic casting cost for so little toughness. Human Shaman. Pay 1. Target creature you control becomes a 7/7 until end of turn. Including itself. Hold on. Oh, but for 1 mana. You'd imagine this should be free at this point. Well, I mean, I guess it would be broken if it's free. This is a crazy card. Yeah, I totally allow this. So it's a 1/1 that can, in theory, become a 7/7. Also, anything can become a 7/7. Basically, it turns the whole board into a 7/7. This thing's sweet. All right, we got a super chat from whoops. Mamfaxo. Thanks so much for your super chat. What's good, babe? I think of a useful or good toughness 0 toughness goober, so chuck 1 to a freeloader. All right, you're welcome. Mamfaxo is sponsoring YOLO, Royal Assassin. I don't know if this one's gonna count. This one just kills things. It has no resistance whatsoever. I guess the resisting thing is it kills other stuff. Alright, moving on to Frenetic. Okay, so we'll go the super chat. We'll move on to Frenetic Sliver. What is its ability? Alright, we got a 3 mana 2/2. All slivers have 0. If this creature is in play, flip a coin. If you win the flip, remove this creature from the game and return it to play under its owner's control at end of turn. If you lose the flip, sacrifice it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you're taking a gamble with your health here. You know, heads you live, tails you die. I'm sorry, this operation has a 50% chance of success. And the other 50% of the time, you're going straight to the morgue. That's what it works. I guess that's how it works with the Frenetic Slivers. But the slivers don't care, because there's just a million more slivers out there. Abzo with Spinal Parasite. So now like 15 minutes deep, we're getting into some pretty creative cards. We got the 5 mana -1/-1 with Sunburst. Remove 2 +1/+1 counters from it to remove a counter from target permanent. That is so weird. Anyway, the card actually has no resistance though. There's nothing here. It just has Sunburst. I guess in theory you could make it a 4-power creature in theory. Anyway, Gravecrawler, YOLO with the Gravecrawler. That one counts. I know how Gravecrawler works. You know, a lot of zombies probably would make it onto this list. It's a 1 toughness, can't block, but you can cast Gravecrawler from your graveyard for as long as you control a zombie. Also keeps coming back. Keeps coming back like the cat came back. Except the zombie came back the very next day. The zombie came back. I thought he was a goner. But the zombie just don't stay away. Nor in the wary. Oh, yeah, that's true. Oops, not weary, wary. 2/1 creature. Whenever a player plays a spell, you can't target it. You can just never get it. It just gets exiled. Then you return it to the battlefield at end of turn. Very tough creature. More slippery than a bogle. You can't even get that blade on that Nor in the Wary. Force of Sage Shepherdry just dies. What's so tough about this creature? There's no toughness at all. It's like this is for the least toughest creatures with no toughness. The all-stars: Force of Savagery, Phantasmal Image. I don't know what else. So a lot of those. Okay, old boy. We got the Phaeto Hydra. Which one? I'm guessing this one. Okay, we got a 5 mana, 1/1 Plant Hydra. If damage will be dealt to Photo Hydra, put that many counters on it instead. That's insane. Look at this creature. So, like the conclave it serves, cut 1 head and it grows 2. Damage it and it flourishes. It's like, I don't know, the Little Shop of Horrors creature. This card's insane. This is a great card. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Alright, Nikachu. Deadly Insect was a beast back in the day when I was ranked number 2, says West Coast Games. Okay, let's look up Deadly Insect. We got 5 mana, 6/1 that it has, was a Shroud, right? It's got Shroud. That definitely qualifies. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to think. That was like around the time that they tried to power everything down. 5 mana for a 6/1. What did they play that in? I was sort of around back then. The Wail of Darkness, says the Fleeting Spirit. Fleeting it does. Alright, we got a 2 mana, 3/1. Pay 1 white, exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Fleeting Spirit gains first strike until end of turn. That'll help. Discard a card, exile Fleeting Spirit, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Beautiful suggestion. I love it. Very tough creature. Looks like it has more toughness on him than, like, look at all the, look at this big coat. Oh, but it is a spirit. I guess spirits, I don't even know why spirits die. I think every spirit should have the clause that if it dies, it gets exiled. You're dead already. It's a flavor fail, in my opinion. Alright, we got Station Disaster. Arcbound Ravager. Technically is a 0/0, but also technically is nothing tough about it. Sack an artifact. Well, I get, you know what? Maybe you're right. You sack an artifact, you can make it bigger. Alright, you can defend it. It can defend itself. Okay, I'll allow this one. I have definitely been in the situation where I'm trying to kill this damn Arcbound Ravager, and they block, and they sacked more artifacts than I thought they could sacrifice on the board. You ever... Arcbound Ravager plus Hangerback Walker, that is an absolute beating. They sacked the Hangerback Walker, and they got way more artifacts than I had counted in the first place. But you only have to trick me once, Affinity players. You robot players, you only get to trick me once. I guess that once was good enough for that Grand Prix, though. Baleful Strix. You know what? I like the suggestion. Baleful Strix, though, however, has the clause of, like, okay, we going down together. It's a 1/1 creature, but you'll be damned if you ever attack into this thing. Because you're basically going to sack your own creature as well. When Baleful Strix enters the battlefield, draw a card. Very dangerous 1 toughness creature. Only has 1 power, too. But that 1 power can take down a, what's it called? A deadly insect. Very deadly. More deadly owl. Oh, I like that one, Mr. Deadhead. Fogbank. I know someone who plays with these cards exclusively. This one, it's a 2 mana 0/2 defender with flying. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by Fogbank. By the way, I'm gonna qualify to, you can name anything between 0 and 2 toughness. I think that's pretty low toughness. So this thing, but it has prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by Fogbank. So even if you pump this thing up, it doesn't matter. It's just a Fogbank. It don't do nothing. The Misty Mountains that Golem lives in. We already named the Bogle. We already did Tarmogoyf. We also agreed that this one is disqualified. Hold on. Where was that? Deals no damage. Deals no damage. Somehow has teeth. Where's the teeth? I see nothing here. I see a bunch of fog, in my opinion. Yo, Little Ted with the Blinking Spirit. We got 4 mana, 2/2, 0. Return Blinking Spirit to its owner's hand. That's a tough thing to... There's no... It's like Norn the Wary. Except you have to keep casting it over and over again. Alright, Stinkweed Imp has 2 toughness, but no one wants to attack into you to give you a... True story. Stinkweed Imp. You know, it's also funny. It says flying, but it's like sort of marooned on a beach over here. All right, so it's a 3 mana, 1/2. Whenever Stinkweed Imp deals combat damage to a creature, destroy that creature. And it's still errated like that. Why? Shouldn't it just be like Death Touch? But it's not Death Touch. What is the difference between whenever it deals combat damage to a creature, destroy that creature? Does it go on the stack or something? I don't think so. Anyway, as Dredge 5, yeah. No, I mean, no one wants to attack into it to lose their creature, and also no one wants to keep the Dredge train going on. Yeah, we did True Name Nemesis. We gotta go deeper, people. You gotta go deep now. Okay, Erlin says Argothian Enchantress. Remember, 0 to 2 toughness is all allowed. You go to 3 toughness, a little too high for this show. Okay, we have as, oh my god, I accidentally clicked on that one. That's a great one. Okay, green Enchantress. Green 1 generic for a 0/1 with Shroud. And whenever you cast an enchantment, draw a spell. Surprised this card didn't end up seeing... Is this Modern legal? Oh no, it didn't make it into Modern. They made some other cards. If this was in Modern, that might actually help the Enchantress deck by a whole lot. Okay, take a look at this one. Hornet Nest. You know what? I sort of like this one. This is like a... Maybe it's sort of breaking the rules, but I sort of know what you're talking about here. So it's like a green 2 generic defending 0/2 creature. Whenever Hornet's Nest is dealt damage, create that many 1/1 green insect creature tokens with flying and death touch. So do not break the whole... It's a very flavorful. You like poke the hornet nest, one hornet will come out, but if you break the whole thing... Well, anyway. It's like cracking the golden goose, except the golden goose gave birth to a bunch of hornets. Alright, what else do we got here? We got... I like that one, River Boa. It's a simple creature. It's a 2/1 with Regenerate. They don't put Regeneration on a whole lot of cheap creatures these days. Oh! Arayo! This is the best! Alright, we got a 1/1 flying Soratami Ascendant, a Moonfolk. Flying, whenever the 4th spell of a turn is played, flip it. Then good luck with the rest of the game. Enjoy. Counter the first spell played by each opponent this turn. Isn't this banned in Commander? Ah! Fools! This would balance Commander. Prevent those combo decks from going combo. This is probably the quintessential 1/1 creature. The toughest of all of them that have no toughness. Because in fact, it actually transforms into a thing that has no toughness whatsoever. Matt! Thanks so much for your super chat, Matt. Did Phyto Titan done yet? I don't think so. Phyto Titan. What do we got here? Alright, we got a 6 mana, 7/2 plant elemental. When Phyto Titan dies, returns to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control at the beginning of the next, his or her next upkeep. Well, it's basically just indestructible. It's like a weird indestructible. So I guess the good thing about this one is that it doesn't, I mean, it dies, but it comes back and like triggers ETBs or whatever. It combos with Rule of Law, so your opponents can't play, or you're talking about Arayo. Talking about Arayo, it combos with Rule of Law, so your opponents can't play anymore. That's why it's banned. Well, damn. Then ban Rule of Law. Unban Arayo. We should be banning the enchantments, not the creatures. Alright, you know where to get them 1 toughness creatures? With the most toughness? You can get them at FusionGamingOnline.com. My one-stop shop for all my Magic the Gathering needs. The first place I look for my singles. Deal of the week this week. Save 15% off all Dominaria sets and sealed products. Dominaria has Leyline Binding and Mox Amber. And other... Urza! Where do you think Urza came from? Some Dominaria sealed and... Well, there's a lot of... So wait, Dominaria United, and Dominaria Remastered. If you need singles from that era, don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases. Saves you money, and it lets them know that I sent you. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for renting Magic cards online. Play the latest Lord of the Rings sets by renting the cards, because who knows if they get banned. You know, the One Ring Bowmasters, they're very expensive right now. Do you want to risk buying those singles and losing your entire investment? Or would you just want to rent the cards And then if they get banned, your cards don't get banned. Mana Traders cards get banned. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu _B3R. Alright, back to more tough creatures with no toughness. We got some super chats in the house. Alright, let's, Jacob. Thanks so much for your super chat. Tormented Soul. So tormented. Alright, for 1 black, a 1/1 spirit. Can't block and can't be blocked. I like it. Unblockable 1 toughness. It's basically... It's just unblockable 1/1. They should have just given it Shadow or something. King Ginger with the super chat. Zilortha. Strength Incarnate. The hell is this thing? This is... It looks like it's an alchemy card or something. Alright, we got a 5 mana, 7/3 trample. Lethal damage dealt to creatures you control is determined by their power rather than their toughness. Huh? Lethal damage dealt to creatures you control is determined by their power. So, hold on. Oh, okay, I get it. You know, this thing has 3 toughness, but this is pretty cool. So, basically, it has 7 toughness. Even though it looks like it has 3 toughness, it actually has 7 toughness. I'm gonna allow it that one. Cool card. It's also very unique. I had to read that one twice. Station Disaster. Nomad's Encore. Oh, the combo card. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with this card right now. 1 white, 1/1 creature. For 0, the next 1 damage that would be dealt to Nomad's Encore this turn is dealt to target creature you control instead. Here, you take my damage. Take it. Did we do Bloodghast? We did not do Bloodghast. Slav. We got the black 2/1 creature. Also can't block. But who cares? It's always the things that are willing to sacrifice themselves eternal times that can't block. Bloodghast has haste as long as an opponent has 10 or less life. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may return Bloodghast from your graveyard to the battlefield. It comes back for free. That's a good price. It's a very good price. Step away, skeletons. You got to come into play for like for a single land drop. Okay, Tura, what do you got for me? Haktos. The Unscarred. We got 4 mana, 6/1 creature. Well, that's a very, very, very big creature. Attacks each combat if able. Enters the battlefield, choose 2, 3, or 4 at random. Okay. Haktos has protection from each converted mana cost other than the chosen number. Sick card. Very sick. Protection from converted mana costs. What's the flavor of that on the battlefield? Hey, buddy, you cost 4. I have protection from 4, so shove it. Get out of my way. It's so random, too. Arclight Phoenix. Great suggestion. 4 mana, 3/2. Flying Haste. But at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you cast 3 or more instant or sorcery spells, you bring it back from the graveyard. It come back big time. Spike Feeder. Is this one gonna count? Oh, I think it has the ability that you can put counters on it. Well, not really. Okay, so it enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. You pay 2 to remove it, but you can't put any more on it. Remove a counter from Spike Feeder, you gain 2 life. I don't know, I disqualify this thing. I don't think that's a very tough creature for 0 toughness. It just gets weaker from here. It's gotta have some sort of angle to protect itself. You know, that's what I'm getting at here with this show. Needs like a little bit of an angle. We did true name Nemesis. Force of Savagery literally has no way to defend itself. This is literally like it comes into play and it dies. It's got nothing. It's a terrible, terrible suggestion. Not the first time. But anyway, we're learning, Kevin. We're learning. Okay, what do we have here? Walking Ballista is a little bit better. Walking Ballista. So, like, there's 2 things you could do with this. You could just put it into play for a giant creature, but you could also make it bigger. So, like, with infinite mana, it will infinitely get large. And it snipes things down. So I will count this one. This one can defend itself. for having 0 toughness. Goblin Snowman. That sounds like an AI generated card, but it's real. Alright, so it's a 4 mana 1/1. Whenever Goblin Snowman blocks, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by it this turn. And it can tap to deal 1 damage to target creature it's blocking. That's terrible. Okay, so basically you're defending yourself. This is like the strongest wall. There are gigantic walls that take more damage in this game than the Snowman. The Snowman is like, I don't know, made out of ice. It's more icy than the wall of ice, as far as I'm concerned. And then they ping them with the snowball. The snowballs have ice inside. Anyway, funny stuff. What do we got? Okay, we have a lot of super chats here. All right, Redco, unlicensed hearse. It's a vehicle. Pay 2, exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Oh, you know, I like this one. All right, so unlicensed hearse, power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards it's exiled. So it starts off with nothing, but it gets bigger. And it's also hard to kill because sometimes it's just a vehicle. You can't hit it with the board wipes. I like that suggestion. That's it. The unlicensed hearse is a very tough creature with no toughness. All right, we got Manfaxo, 02, your brother. When can I buy his feed picks? You got to ask him. He'll sell them. His price is not high. He'll sell it quickly for his feed picks. Augie, thanks so much for the super chat. Stuffy Doll. Did we do it? I don't think. Maybe we didn't do Stuffy Doll. I don't think we did Stuffy Doll yet. 5 mana for a 0/1 indestructible creature enters the battlefield. Choose a player. Whenever Stuffy Doll is dealt damage, deals that much damage to the chosen player. Tap. Stuffy Doll deals 1 damage to itself. Stop hitting yourself, Stuffy Doll. Alright, we got Michael. Just wanted to say that I bought Paper Modern Merfolk after watching your videos for some time. Thanks for the content inspiration. You're welcome, Michael. I really appreciate it. Always warms my heart when people keep mentioning Merfolk. I keep hearing feet picks. Kinky, I know. Feet picks are in these days. You accidentally had 50 spike feeders, sold them when they were a hit. When they hit $1. Alright, well, good. Congratulations on that. Cards like Batterskull count. It's pretty big, to be honest. I'm not going to count it. The 0/0 germ don't count to me. Okay, Guardian of New Benalia. Let's see what this is all about from Diego. We got a 2 mana 2/2 human soldier with Enlist. As this creature attacks, you may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning sickness. When you do, add its power to this creature until end of turn. Whenever Guardian of New Benalia enlists a creature, scry 2. Discard a card. Guardian of Benalia gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. That's a beautiful card. This thing's a Swiss Army knife for 2 mana. It's modern legal. So, I get, you know what, it could be a little bit better if you could enlist creatures that had summoning sickness. I think that would be a little bit better. Alright, we got some super chats here. We got Michael. Thanks so much. Johnny's Pride Mate. In some sense, this is a tough creature. Oops, Johnny's Pride. This is a little loose. Because you can, I mean, I guess you know, this is a little bit of a build-around card. It's a 2/2 creature for 2 mana, and whenever you gain life, you get a +1/+1 counter on the Ajani Pride Mate. I have seen a big Ajani's Pride Mate before. I think the largest Pride Mate I ever played against was like a 12/12. No, maybe it had to have been bigger than that. The thing is, again, against life gain decks, there's certain games where the game just stalls out and your opponent's playing a lot of creatures and you're playing a lot of creatures and no one has any good attacks. And the Pride Mate just gets out of control. Probably I've seen a Pride Mate over 20. Definitely over 10. Redco. Everlasting Lich. Funny, Redco says. Well, how funny is it? This card's not even real. Okay, we got a black, 2 generic, 4/0 zombie. Card name can't block, but it can't die. This creature is indestructible, can't be sacrificed, and doesn't go to the graveyard for having 0 toughness. That is wild. One day they're gonna give they're gonna reprint Force of Savagery with the same thing. So it's, I don't understand this card. So card name can't die, cannot leave the battlefield. It's stuck in some sort of, it's got some sort of weird immortality. Which Thalia? What, like the OG Thalia? I guess this one counts. First strike, a little bit of defense over there for a 2/1 creature, and non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. A little taxing a few of those removal spells. We did River Boa, Chris, but we didn't do the Marsh Boa. I don't even know what a Marsh Boa is. Does Swamp Walk? It has Swamp Walk. It's smaller than the River Boa. So it's a green 1/1 with Swamp Walk. What they thought? I guess at the time, River Boa was pretty good. So I guess, yeah, I guess whatever. River Boa was good back then. A Blackbird, Yahini. Undying Partisan. Okay, we got a 3-mana 2/2 with haste. It's a vampire. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a counter on Yahini, Undying Partisan. Sack another creature. Yahini gets indestructible until end of turn. That's a great card. See, they don't look that tough, but actually they're tough. They know how to take a hit. They're all defense. I think he meant Meyer Boa? I think he meant this Boa. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it was Meyer Boa. Because that thing, this card actually is disqualified. I mean, this card can't even defend itself. Okay, Meyer Boa. Ah, there we go. Oh, this is literally, yeah, this is the other River Boa. Okay, we got a black, 1 generic 2/1 with Swamp Walk. With the green, regenerate the River Boa. Love it. All right, Graham, thanks so much for the super chat. Good old Blight Mamba. Is that, hold on, is that like, I think that's a poison snake, 2 mana for a 1/1? Something like that. I don't know my casual cards very well. All right, we got a 2 mana 1/1 Infect, and it regenerates. I nailed it. And that's a tough creature. And it doesn't matter how tough you are, you die to this card. Oh, Kira. That's a tough creature. Okay, 2 toughness for a 3 mana flyer. And creatures you control, including Kira itself. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability for the first time each turn, counter that spell or ability. Burglar Rat. Burglar Rat. What the hell is this Burglar Rat? Burglar? The Hamburglar Rat. We're gonna load here. Technically Relentless Rats. Burglar. Okay, it doesn't exist. So what is it? Relentless Rats with Burglar picture? Is this what it is? Are you people trolling me? What the hell is a Burglar Rat? Burglar. Did I spell this right? Oh no, I didn't spell it right. Okay, Burglar Rat. Okay, black 1 generic for a 1/1 rat. Enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. This... Instant disqualification. People wasting my time. Lynn Civvy. What, with the old rules? Did they reprint? I think they're reprinting Lynn Civvy with like a new art. This actually, she has like 3 toughness. You search your library for a rebel card with convert mat cost X or less, put on that card into play, then shuffle your library. I guess you could look for another Lynn Civvy. Put target rebel card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. I guess if they target the Lynn Civvy, you go get another Lynn Civvy. Wow, that's actually, the rules are broken. I'm gonna qualify this one. It's very, it has a lot of toughness compared to its power, but I like the ability. We did Brash Honor. Hey, look at Blinking Spirit. A lot of people yelling Blinking Spirit. No, we did Blinking Spirit. We did it. Come on, people. There's a lot of cool cards out there. You know that. You know. Red Coat knows, too. Gleesa Sunslayer. What do you do, Gleesa? I slay the sun. See, that is my... I'm determined to blow it up. Just like, Montgomery Burns from The Simpsons. Alright, we have 3 mana for a 3/3 Phyrexian Zombie Elf. First strike, Death Touch. When it deals combat damage to a player, choose one. You draw a card and you lose 1 life. Destroy an enchantment. Remove up to 3 counters from target permanent. It's got the Death Touch. You know, we're getting too big here. I made an exception for Lynn Civi. 3 toughness is too big. We need to go back to 2. We need to go back to 2. 2, 1, or 0. I like the rest of the card, sure. This is a tough creature that's very tough. Okay, Mitch Flores says Dimir Houseguard. Just as the music changed, I love it. It's a skeleton. It's got 4 mana, fear, sacrifice a creature, regenerate Dimir. We're getting too big on the toughness. Lower the toughness, people. We're getting mid-rangey here. Very mid-rangey. It's got fear though. Sack a creature, regenerate. It does meet all the other standards though. Clot Sliver. That sounds disgusting. Like a blood clot? Maybe so. 2 mana for a 1/1. All slivers have pay to regenerate this permanent. That do work. Okay, what's the donation goal for you to get a mohawk? There is none. But thank you very much for the super chat. $1 million. Crowcore Games. Thank you very much for your super chat. Boseiju reaches skyward backside. Okay, let's look at the backside. Boseiju reaches skyward. Okay, we need to go look on the other side of this thing. Oh, I love the pixel art. Alright, it's a 0/0 with reach. A branch of Boseiju gets +1/+1 for each land you control. Okay, sure. I'll qualify that one. Alright, let's go back to the freebie center. You guys have you guys have something new here? Treox with Deathless Knight. Deathless, you say? I'm disappointed that it's not Drudge Sliver. Alright, we got a 4 mana, 4/2. Okay, so far so good. Haste. When you gain life for the first time each turn, return Deathless Knight from your graveyard to your hand. Not bad! Alright, hard to kill. Or hard to stay down. It's a little cumbersome to get back onto the battlefield, but it works. It's funny, one person mentions something that everyone copies it. Alright, we got the, for Do It Like Nate, and also Christopher B says the Epoch Recite. Sounds like a bug. It's a construct. It's a 2 mana 1/1. Enters the battlefield with 3 +1/+1 counters on it if you didn't cast it from your hand. Okay then. When it dies, exile it with 3 time counters on it. Gain suspend. Insane. Great card. That's the spice I'm talking about for this show. That's a cool card. Hard to keep down. Very tough. See, that's tough creature. And it hits it in 2 ways. So it actually gets more counters on it if you like you reanimate it or bring it from suspend. And also, yeah, it just doesn't stay down. All right, let's look at some super chats. We got Kevin with the Zergo. Helm Smasher. 5 mana for a 7/2 creature. Haste, attacks each combat if able, has indestructible as long as it's your turn, and whenever a creature dealt damage by Zergo Helm Smasher dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Zergo Helm Smasher. Perfect. That's a big creature for 5 mana. We got Tyreek Smith, the Scoot Swarm Count. Probably. Alright, it starts off as a 1/1 for 3 mana, but it's got landfall. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, you create another 1/1 green insect creature token. But if you control 6 or more lands, you create a token of the Scoot Swarm instead. I absolutely think this counts. You either, one way of surviving is just multiplying. Multiply and conquer. Rorschach! Thanks so much for your super chat. Baleful Eidolon. Oops, spelled that wrong. Anyone mention this? Was Scary and Theros draft and constructed. Alright, we have the 2 mana 1/1 with the Bestow. And it's got Death Touch. So don't be attacking into this thing. Enchanted creature has +1/+1 and has Death Touch. And also, if you make it an aura, right? if I understand bestow correctly, if you killed the creature, you then remove the bestow creature from it, and then it was just on its own. If I remember the rules correctly. Redco! What am I going to give you here? Triumphant Adventurer. I find it interesting, some of you super chatters, you're sometimes really passionate about some subjects over others. Redco loves 1 toughness creatures with no, or sorry, tough creatures with no toughness. Which one? Okay, we got 2 mana, 1/1 human knight with death touch. As long as it's your turn, it's got first strike. I don't know how far you're gonna go with that first strike though. Whenever Triumphant Adventurer attacks, venture into the dungeon. No one will. I don't understand the flavor of this card at all. Look at this thing. What part of Death Touch is me carrying a bunch of money around with me? I would think that's a bigger burden than anything. Always a bigger fish says, and I love Transformers. Yeah, we'll have the Transformer show and you'll be super chatting all over the place. Patron Wizard. That's a good one. Alright, the 3 mana 2/2 wizard. Tap and untap wizard you control. Counter that spell unless its controller pays 1. So when you try to, when you come after the patron wizard, you best not miss. Otherwise, it's going to get countered. Ox of Agonis. Is this going to count? Oh yeah, it's got escape. That's true. Okay, so it's a 4/2. Escape. Enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards. Discard your hand, draw 3 cards. Mini Wheel of Fortune for you. I guess that's a bad analogy, but whatever. Escape for 2 red and exile 8 other cards from your graveyard. It escapes with a +1/+1 counter on it. Sweet card. This one's proving surprisingly popular with thirsty Redditors. Diffusion Sliver, old art. I'm just, the old art. I think this is the only one. Well, they're desperate if they're thirsty over this thing. All right, it's a 1/1 sliver creature you control. Whenever a sliver creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, counter the spell unless its controller pays 2. Good tax. And also it works. Okay, let's go. I never got one from some. Viashino Sand Swimmer. We all know how fun it is to swim in that sand. Okay, it's a 4 mana, 3/2. Pay a red, flip a coin. If you win the flip, return Viashino Swimmer to its owner's hand. Otherwise, sacrifice it. Oh my goodness. It's another one of those 50-50. You live or you die. Alright, what else do we have here? Did we look at the Triumphant? Yeah, we look at the Adventure. Station Disaster. Cartel Aristocrat. That's true, actually. Cartel Aristocrat. Totally forgot this card existed. The 2 mana Human Advisor. It's a 2/2. Sack another creature. We're going to sacrifice other creatures for my own well-being. Cartel Aristocrat gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Your life serves a higher purpose now, ensuring the continuation of my own. Exactly. Bingo! King Ginger. Spawn Rice. Green, 2 generic for a 2/2 elemental with trample. Whenever Spawn Right deals combat damage to a player, put a token that's a copy of it onto the battlefield. I like that. Another one, defend by multiplying. You can kill us all. Triox with the super chat. Pyro Titan or Despoiler of Souls, classic Yard Boys. Let's go to or maybe Pyro Titan. I'm not spelling this right. Pyro. There we. Oh no, we did this one. Okay, Despoiler of Souls. The Despoiler. Black, 3/1. Can't block. Pay 2 black. Exile 2 other creature cards from your graveyard. Return Despoiler of Souls from your graveyard to the battlefield. Basically, just paying the mana. You're paying the mana all over again. Okay, do it like Nate, Sylvan Safekeeper. By the end of the show, everyone now understands how this works. Green 1/1, sack land. Target creature you control gains Shroud until end of turn. That card's busted. This card looks insane. And for the low cost of just sacking a land, you gain protection from removal spells. I didn't even know this card existed. It's from Judgment? That's an old card. It's 20 bucks. And worth every penny. Xavier, Falcon Wrath Aristocrats. That's a great card. If it's gonna load. Falcon Wrath. This is the 4/1 Flying Haste. I can't help but feel like this should see some sort of play. So it's a 4-mana 4/1 Flying Haste. Sack a creature. Falcon Wrath Aristocrat gains indestructible until end of turn. If the creature was a human, put a counter on Falcon Wrath Aristocrat. Vampire gets bigger. Mitch Floors with Yoshimaru. Oh, it's a doggy. Alright, I got a white 1/1 dog. Whenever another legendary permanent enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Yoshimaru Ever Faithful. And it's got partner. Hold on. Put a counter. Oh. I don't like this one. Whenever another legendary permanent enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Ever Faithful. Not really that defenseful, in my opinion. Miguel Otra Jelly. The doggy's not that tough. The hell is this? Okay, it's a green X00 trample. Enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters. And it's got split. When Otra Jelly dies, if it has 2 or more counters on it, create a token that's a copy of it at the beginning of the next end step. The token enters the battlefield with half that many +1/+1 counters on it, rounded down. I like it. Jacob Eager, Mirror Entity. This is a funny card. It's like, it's one of those cards that looks like it has a lot of potential but sees no play. It's a 3-mana 1/1 changeling, but you can pay X. Until end of turn, creatures you control have base power and toughness XX and gain all creature types. That's just wild. So like you just tap out all your mana and like everything becomes enormous. What else do we have? Abu Jafar! Abu! How many Abu are there? Oh, we got Abu. Let's look at the original Abu. Let's read the old text of Abu. If Abu dies without regenerating while participating in an attack or defense, all creatures Abu is blocking or being blocked by are also killed and may not regenerate. But hold on, what's the defense of this thing? When it dies, destroy all creatures blocking or blocked by it. This basically has Death Touch. Okay. Basically has Death Touch. I'll allow this one. So long as it goes down, they all go down together. Okay, Erland really excited about the Fog of Gnats for some reason. Those annoying buzzard gnats. Fall of... No. I'm spelling this wrong. Gnats. Alright, black, 1/1, flying, black, regenerate, Fog of Gnats. This is a very boring card. Actually, you know what? It's a superior skeleton. For skeletons, you'll get this for the same mana value, for the same power and toughness, it don't fly. Why is it a Fog of Gnats, by the way? Anyway, okay. Yeah, it works. You're right, it works. Oh, Meek! Thank you so much for your super chat. Construct. Construct from Urza Saga. Uh-oh. The show's not over till I say it's over. Construct. Does such card exist? Construct from Urza Saga. Oh, you mean, oh, literally the construct. These things. I'm not counting this thing. Also, they're pretty vulnerable as well. They're technically not 0 toughness. They'll have some. I mean, they're 0/0, but they get +1/+1 for each artifact in play, and they have no resistance whatsoever. Station Disaster, with Goblin Chirurgeon. Chirurgeon. I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm just not even gonna try. It's a red 0/2 Goblin Shaman. Sack a Goblin to regenerate target creature. Oh, baby! Oh my god, oh, this is gruesome! Look what they're doing! I don't even think they would make art like this today. When was this made? This was 2007. Oh, no, the Masters Edition came in 2007. This is the original from, like, 2004? Sorry, no, 1994? Yeah. He's sawing the leg off! This is some real, Saw movie-like stuff. This is disgusting. Tybalt with Spark Double. Alright, it's like some sort of illusion for formatting. You may have Spark Double enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature or planeswalker you control, except it enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. If it's a creature, it enters with an additional loyalty counter on it if it's a planeswalker. And if it isn't legendary, that permanent is legendary. No defense. It has no defense whatsoever. Or like it gets that extra counter, I guess, but it's not that tough. I run that in my Krenko Mob boss deck. What, this thing? Sacrifice. Oh, you can regenerate any, is it any creature? Yeah, it's any creature. You just sack any goblin, you regenerate a creature. Pretty good if you're making a lot of tokens. And now we got, oh no, this was the last super chat. See what that means, people? That means we're done. We're done for today. There's probably some more cards out there. We started getting some momentum at the second half of the show. It's pretty cool. All right, so as usual, thank you very much for showing up. And if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. There will be an evening show on Wednesday because there will be no show on Friday. So heads up to all you guys who show up every Friday. I'm not going to be here this Friday, but I will be back every other Friday. I have a road trip. So to compensate, there will be an evening show on Wednesday. Keep your eyes out for that. I have no idea when I'm going to do it. Thank you very much for everyone who supports the show on Patreon, being a member on YouTube, and also with the super chats, with your suggestions. You keep Coffee and MTG running. And we gotta thank also everyone who shows up in the morning for the show, like Memfaxo, Jacob, Mark, Zilla, Mr. Deadhead, Erland, always a bigger fish, Jacob Thune, Jesse, Station Disaster, Old Boy, oh, Crowcore Games, Archaeomancer, Archaeomancer. It's a little late here, Crowcore Games. All right. Enters the battlefield. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. No toughness at all. Thank you for the super chat, though. I didn't think this was that hard of a show, you know, but it was a little challenging for some people. Who else is here in the morning? Erland, Toads, always a bigger fish. Steve Cooper, Christopher B, Kevin. Anyway, so thank you very much, everyone, for supporting the show, being here every morning. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees. And we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you at the next cup.